What up, y'all? It's Choke, no joke. Chigga choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Jigga. Hey, yo, check it out, y'all. I know y'all been waiting for this truth be told all day, every day. Young Chris gets blocked by his idol, Jay-Z, or Roc Nation, however y'all want to look at it. And I know y'all getting tired of me talking about the Rockefeller stuff, and a lot of y'all not. But if it wasn't for Biggs calling me a liar, none of this would be going on. Him and Nori inspired this, so I'm going to keep going, and I'm not going to stop. Now I'm going to tell all my truths. If you don't like it, don't come to my page. If you got a problem with it, if you feel like I'm talking about Rockefeller too much, stop following me, unsubscribe. That's it. You ain't got to worry about it. This ain't for you. This is for those who want it. All right? Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because I keep telling y'all how this dude Jay-Z is a hater. But nobody want to think he's a hater because his checkbook, or because y'all feel like he's a billionaire, or y'all feel like I'm hating on him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's rich. No. And y'all say, oh, you always talking about Rockefeller. What, you mad you ain't never worked at Rockefeller? You mad you wasn't flying around the world in private jets? You mad you didn't get to hang out with Victoria Beckham and Naomi Campbell and hang out backstage with Dolce and Gabbana, the real Dolce and Gabbana? You mad you ain't get to go to Nelson Mandela's 85th birthday party in South Africa? You jealous that you didn't get to hang with Jay Jagger? Yeah, I did all that, all right? And I could have bagged Jay Jagger, but Jane was so hating and so mad, you know, I just went on my 48 laws of power on that one, and I was trying to master. But you know, Dame, I could have bagged her. She was on me, and you was jealous. It's all right, though. But, so with the young Chris thing, let me tell y'all what happened. One thing, now a lot of y'all thinking that I'm going to come on here to talk about how Jay-Z stole young Chris' style. I ain't even got to say that. Y'all already know it. Blueprint 2, young Chris birthed the whisper style to Jay-Z. He gave Jay that. He done gave Jay hooks. He ain't going to admit it. But if y'all go listen to the song, Criminal Background song, when Chris say, in that song, he say something about when you share your style with them and you hear you know what I'm saying? I can't think of the lyrics right now. Y'all should know what I'm talking about. I even interviewed that Chris about that, about Jay jacking his swag, but Chris don't want to ever openly admit that Jay took a lot of his style. You know what I'm saying? Because he idolized Jay. He thought by him being tight-lipped about it that Jay was going to help him. Well, as you can see, Chris is back in Philly. As you can see, the whole state property's back in Philly. As you can see, Beans went front line for the Rock. He back in Philly. So a lot of us, shout out to my man Ramsey too, because Ramsey was probably the most emotionally distraught employee from Rockefeller, because he really believed that Rockefeller family shit mess. You know what I'm saying? And he went hard for Rockefeller, and they left him out for dead. Lenny S didn't even take him with him to Roc Nation, and he was working under Lenny S. You know what I'm saying? Yo, shout out to the Detroit. Shout out to the No Fly Zone. Shout out to Trick. I brought this out. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I saw it in my drawer. I said, yo, you know what? I'm going to rock this today for this one. All right? But, you know, a lot of us went through that stage at Rockefeller where we really thought it was a family thing, and it ultimately, you know, it was business, but they pimped a lot of us. Like, you know, a lot of the state property dudes, they did all those Rockaware ads. They didn't get no money for it. First state property movie, a lot of them didn't get paid to be in it. You know, y'all ask them if y'all think I'm lying, all right? Because, you know, Biggs always say I'm lying. But as y'all know, I'm not. So sticking to young Chris. So this is what happens with young Chris, where I'm going to talk about which shows that Jay-Z is a hater. right? One day I get a call from a girl from a radio station. I'm not going to say which station it is, but it was a Clear Channel station, right? Now, I got the receipts for this, so I'm daring them to lie about it. Now, and Chris know I got the receipts because he got the receipts. So we dare y'all to lie about it. So the girl calls me up and says, yo, Cho, why does Roc Nation keep calling up here, stopping us from playing Young Chris records? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She says, Jay Brown, Tata, they keep calling up here and saying that, yo, y'all better not play no Young Chris records. You know what I'm saying? Now, at this time, Chris is signed to Rico Love, and Rico Love has a label called Division One. I think at this time, Chris was dropping a project called The Reintroduction. With this project, you know, Chris, it was a solo thing. Chris just did a new deal with Rico Love. And, you know, Chris is nice. We all know, we know he helped Jay. Y'all see he more recently been helping Puff writing. He wrote for Puff's son. Probably did some writing for other people in the camp or whatever. This is what Chris do. Chris is a humble dude. He not gonna say nothing. And a lot of y'all reached out to Chris to ask him what I was talking about. As you can see, he wouldn't say nothing. So I'm here to tell his story for him. Because he didn't call me and say, yo, Choke, don't do it. I gave him the opportunity to do that. He didn't do it, so clearly he wanted me to tell it. So the girl calls and says, Choke, why Roc Nation keep calling up here telling us not to play Young Chris records or no Young Guns records? I'm like, I don't know. What happened? She's like, you know, she says Tata, she says Jay Brown calls up there, and they like, yo, stop playing Young Chris records. Now, the reason y'all see me tag Wale in this because they started using Wale as a carrot, dangling him over his head, because Wale was hot at the time. He was signed to Roc Nation. And they told him, yo, if y'all keep playing Chris records, we not going to let Wale come up to the station and do no interviews with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Which is sucker mess for Wale, because Wale has no idea this is going on, and he needs that market. I'm not going to say what market it is, because I don't want to put the girl, I don't want to throw her under the bus, and then Roc Nation do something to her and help, you know, get her to lose her job like they did with Charlemagne when he did the interview with Beans and let him talk a truth about Jay, and he got fired. So I'm not going to say the girl name. And all right, I ain't gonna say that right now. All right, so I said, I don't know why they stopping you from playing Young Chris records. She's like, yo, I love Young Chris. I grew up with Young Chris. We about the same age. I always loved the Young Guns. No Better Love is one of my favorite songs. I love the Tough Love album, blah, blah, blah. Now this girl is a host for the, and a producer for this station, right? So one day she was like, you know, forget it, I'm gonna play a song. So she's playing one of the reintroduction songs on the radio. She tells me her program director comes running in the studio and just stops the song in the middle of the first verse and got dead air on the silence. Now, dead air, I mean silence on the air, just dead air. Now, any of y'all that work in radio, you know, y'all know silence, dead silence on the air is a no-no. That's probably the #1 rule they teach you is you never have nothing playing on the air. But they did it, right? So that's what prompted her to call me, because she wants to know why is Roc Nation calling up there, stopping them from playing Young Chris records. So I'm like, yo, let me call Chris and let him know this, right? So I call Chris, and I'm like, yo, Chris, yo, Roc Nation is stopping your records from being played on the radio. And he like, man, Choke, get out of here, man. I'm like, yo, I'm dead serious. Like, this girl is telling me this. And I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm going to put you on the line. Just don't say nothing. Just listen to it so you don't think I'm lying. Because Chris idolized the ish out of Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? He loves this dude. So me telling him that is like me telling him his wife is cheating or something. He ain't gonna believe me over his wife. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't gonna believe me over Jay-Z. So I had to let him hear it for himself. So he heard it, right? So we get off the call, right? And Chris is like, wow, Choke, yo, Choke, I felt like I was getting some resistance, but I don't know where it was coming from. I'm like, well, now you know. He like, damn, man. And now me and Chris, we both know Jay Brown. Jay Brown even was working with Young Guns at one point. You know what I'm saying? And Chris is like devastated. He like, yo, man, yo, I was getting resistance, Choke, but I ain't know where it was coming from. So I was like, yo, let me try to find out for you. So at this time, me and Charlamagne is cool, because this is before I do my interview at the Breakfast Club. And the only reason I had a problem with Charlamagne is when Wendy Williams kicked him off the radio, I kept his name alive. I was producing at BET. I would let him come up there and do BET now, and keep his name alive. Let him shine and do little stuff on BET now. When Alicia Renee was host, this clown will let Alicia Renee come on his MTV show and wouldn't let me come up there. She ain't put you on the show, I did. You know what I'm saying? She had no power at BET but being the host. I was your man. I'm letting you come on the show, and you let her come on the show. And look how long it took me to get on the Breakfast Club. And you wasn't the one letting me to come up to the Breakfast Club. It was Envy and Yee. Envy and Yee is the one that like, yeah, Choke, yeah, come up here. Come to find out, you ain't really want me to come up there because you over there bootlicking at Roc Nation. But I knew to call you because I knew you up at the office at Roc Nation bootlicking. You'll know why they was blocking Young Chris. So I called Charlamagne, and I'm like, yo, Charlamagne, what's the problem with Young Chris? Yo, this girl from the radio station, it was a Clear Channel station, which is probably iHeartMedia now. Like I said, I'm not gonna say what city and what station right now. If they deny it and they say I'm lying, they gonna know everything, right? So I said, yo, man, they tell us that at the station that Roc Nation is blocking Young Chris from them playing Young Chris records, and they also saying that it's Jay Brown and Tata that's calling up there. So Charlamagne said straight out, I said, yo, Chris said he don't know why they doing it. This is Charlamagne response. Man, get out of here. Chris know why they doing that. I said, why? He said, man, because he posted that picture with him and Rihanna. And I'm like, what picture? He said, look it up. Young Chris was messing with Rihanna, right? And there's a picture with Young Chris on the boat, with he laying down on the boat, and Rihanna's riding him, not naked riding him. I think it might have been topless, but she's sitting on his crotch area. He laying down, and she's sitting on it. Y'all probably can find the picture. And if you see the picture, then you'll understand why they did it. So they was mad at Chris for posting the picture. Now, Tata supposed to have brought Rihanna into Roc Nation or Rockefeller or whatever. So she supposed to have been his artist. So I can see why they was upset. But that was the reason why they blocked Young Chris. Now, if they blocked him at that one station, they blocked him everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because they telling them, yo, we ain't letting Wale come up to the station if y'all keep playing his records. So the messed up thing about that is Wale and Chris is cool. And Wale have no idea. Wale is Dream Chasers, I believe. He don't even got nothing to do with Roc Nation outside of management. So why y'all stopping him from getting his going up to the station? You know what I'm saying? Because Wale hot. So that's what it was. Now, for all that Chris did for Jay, why would you block Young Chris? Why would you do that? All because of the Rihanna, and we know about the rumors about Dude and Rihanna way early on. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know, then you ain't in the know and you don't need to know. But if those who know. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about. So, if y'all think I'm lying, y'all hit up Young Chris right now and ask him, did this happen? If y'all think I'm lying, ask Charlamagne, did I call him and tell him that Roc Nation was blocking him? And ask him, did he tell me he knew that they was doing it and why they was doing it? And it was all because of Young Chris posting that picture with Rihanna. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna get into no more deep, no more. I ain't gonna get into no more deeper. But no, I got the receipts. All right. Say I'm lying, and the receipts will come out. Young Chris got the receipt. I got the receipts. Say I'm lying. Jay-Z is a hater, y'all. I'm telling you, he's a hater. Why he blocked Young Chris? I don't know. Why he blocked Beans? Ask Beans. Beans at the Powerhouse show. Go listen to Charlamagne interview when he got kicked off the radio with Beans and see how Jay-Z was running with the police and had Beans, federal parole officer, at the concert and try to shut him down from performing at the Made America concert in his own city. Dude be doing a lot of sucker stuff, but y'all don't want to believe it. Why? Because he's a billionaire. Why would he hate on him? That's how he got to the top, by hating on a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? But I'm done with that. So y'all expecting me to tell y'all how he stole Young Chris style. Y'all already know that. Y'all go listen to it, blueprint to it, whatever. I ain't even got to say that. But this is to show y'all how dudes be blocking us. So if he could call up on Young Chris and stop him, y'all think he ain't do it to me over and over and over and over again, along with several others? Y'all keep idolizing this dude. Y'all keep idolizing him. Believe, he can be a hater too. All right? He got the baddest chick in the world and sit here and hate on niggas. And got the nerve to hate on Eric Benet. So don't be Eric Benet. Nigga, you cheated on Beyonce. You got the baddest chick in the game right now. You cheat on Beyonce. You got the nerve to talk about Eric Benet. No, y'all better not be Sean Carter. Yo, I'm going. Choke, don't choke, B. I'm out.